What's up YouTube, it's AS85 here and I'm bringing you guys extra deck discussion for Psychic Control. First and foremost, let's go straight into it. Ultimate Axon Kicker. Sorry, he's your boss monster for the deck in my opinion. Or at least the way I play the deck, he's the boss monster. He's a 2900 attack level 10 fusion monster, which seems kind of small, but not really. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. He gives you life points when he destroys a monster by battle. And more important than that, he's a piercer. He does piercing damage to defense position monsters. So all those tokens, all those plant decks that like to play defensively, Gravekeepers, he goes to work on you guys. Overmind Archfiend. He is one of the new cards that came out in Extreme Victory. Once per turn, you can select one Psychic type monster in your graveyard and remove it from play. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, special summon all remove from play Psychic monsters removed from play by this effect. He allows you to swarm pretty nicely, especially if you have Psychic tuners in your graveyard and then you bring him out. It can be pretty sexy, pretty damn sexy. He goes to work. I'm actually missing one card from the extra deck, I just realized, but I'll get into that later. Hyper Psychic Blaster. He is and will always be your B-Stick. He's a piercer who gives you life point damage. You can opt to play him or not. I like him because, you know, I like to be aggressive in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like Jack Atlas. I'm like Seto Kaiba. I like to go to work on my opponent. That's how I play my game. That's how I do. Yeah, let's keep it moving. Bryonak, Trishula is Trishula. You know him. Thought Ruler. He is an oldie but goodie. Psychic monster. Negates effects on a target Psychic type monster by paying 1,000 life points and gains life points by destroying monsters. Helps you get over Dimensional Prison, Magical Cylinder, which has been seeing increasing play recently. What else did he help you get over? Compulsory. Any card that targets, he stops. Any spell or trap card that targets a monster, he stops. Which is awesome. Stardust, obviously, Destruction Control. Mass Destruction. Thought Ruler can get over Sakaretsu Armor, Raigeki Break, and the like. He can't get over Bottomless. He can't get over Bottomless. He can't get over Mirror Force. Can't get over Transient Tribute. Can't get over Dark Hole. Together, they form a perfect lock where your opponent cannot activate destruction effects at all. And you can just let Stardust sit on the field while you attack with Thought Ruler. Unless they bring out a bigger monster, you're not going nowhere. Psychic Life Transfer, a level 7 Psychic monster who adds to your, I guess, remove from play mechanic, and also gives you life points by removing from play Psychic monsters from your graveyard. Black Rose is Black Rose. I actually sometimes side deck her because I really don't need her. I mean, nice to look at the board, but Eteria Landois, card that came out of Arsenal 4. While this card is face up on the field, you can send one spell card from your hand to the graveyard to negate the activation of an effect monster's effect and destroy it. You try and Black Rose you, one spell card means Black Rose is negated. He tries to Sheen you, one spell card means Sheen is negated. Stardust is negated by this effect too. It's awesome. It's pretty damn awesome. Though if your opponent has 2 Stardusts, one Stardust will be negated. However, he can chain his effect to the second Stardust since it destroys, negates and destroys, so watch out for that. He can't get over 2 Stardust, but 1 Stardust by itself is pretty easy for him. Barkion, we've seen him in those damn samurai decks. Negates traps all day, every day, by simply removing from play monsters from your cards from your graveyard. Any card. He can add to your remove from play mechanic. And in tandem with Eteria Beast, who mills 2 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard, they can just basically add to all those monsters that can be removed from play, furthering your RFG mechanic, allowing you for swarms over my Archfiends. Psychic Nightmare, the card I was missing from the deck, I realized. Psychic Nightmare is a level 6 Psychic monster who can boost his attack by 1,000 by simply checking your opponent's hand and calling a card. If you call the card right, spell, trap, or monster card, you can get 1,000 life points. If you get the card is not the important thing. The important thing is that he allows you to see into your opponent's hands. So even if you get the card wrong, you still get to check if you see if you got it right. Love Yu-Gi-Oh! Rollings, love it. Which means he's a sort of a spy monster for your psychic deck. Allows you to see what they could possibly have and how you may want to counter it, if you have the counters in your hands. Brandnak is Brandnak, monster stuff. My Electrical Android. Interior Beast, the other part to the interior trio. He hits spells, he hits traps, she hits effect monsters. So, the three of them together is a perfect lock. Lovely, beautiful. And of course, out of Justice Catastor. Now you may be asking, wait a minute, 1, 2, blah, blah, blah. That's 16 monsters in your extra deck. Yes, because I realized Psychic Nightmare was missing, I actually remade the deck today without Psychic Nightmare. Who would I take out for Psychic Nightmare? To be honest, Black Rose will be the first to go to the extra deck. You don't really need to nuke the field with this card. You can, it helps, but I'd rather have these monsters together. If my opponent has overextended, it usually means, the only way I can really get out of it, even if I had Black Rose, is if my life points were high. Black Rose can nuke the field and make them lose a lot of minuses, go minus for a lot of overextension of the spell, trap cards, or monster cards. But without life points, this deck can really not capitalize. Unless you have Miracle Synchro Fusion and go into this guy, who's basically a free summon from your graveyard. So, yeah. Now, if you look and you count, we have 15 monsters. With, surprisingly enough, Black Rose and Landois going back and forth in terms of extra deck space. I flip-flop these cards back and forth in the extra deck. I'm sorry, in the side deck. So, there you go, YouTube. Synchro extra deck discussion for Psychic Control. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Post all your comments below. Subscribe. Like she said, subscribe. Thank you for your subscription so far. And I promise to bring you guys hopefully more decks with a better face than mine. So, thanks YouTube. Peace out. Keep on having fun.